What is happening, good people? Welcome to Monday Madness. I'm your host, Jeff C. I hope you're having a good start to the week. I hope you had a nice weekend. We have a lot of things to discuss here. I'm not quite live because they did hit my main channel, so I'm a bit weary about doing live shows on YouTube. So I'm probably going to flip over to D Live. Not much alternatives these days because I have a feeling if I do go live, they're going to hit me again, sort of thing. So yeah, this is going to be a pre-recorded, but it'll still be kind of live because I do everything live anyways. So yeah, the first thing that you're seeing up here on the screen, several of my followers told me this, like on Twitter, for instance, when I posted a link for my video on BitChute, and I'm not the only one. I think anybody that posts stuff with a link to BitChute gets this message here. Warning, this link may be unsafe, right? And they say the link that you are trying to access has been identified by Twitter or our partners as being potentially spammy 2020, or unsafe. In accordance with Twitter's URL policy, this link could fall into any of the below categories: malicious links that could steal personal information or harm electronic devices, like all the corporate media websites, spammy links, that mislead people or disrupt their experience, violent or misleading content that could lead to real world harm. Yeah, you click on a link, you harm the world. Certain categories of content that, if posted directly on Twitter, are a violation of Twitter rules. So that's what you get when you click on that link, and I'll just say ignore this warning and continue, and there you go to my BitChute. So yeah, I put up this video yesterday. See, I didn't even take the weekend off. No, I took one day off. But yeah, this is on the twin-demic and all the twin Gemini sort of symbolism that's all over. We got the two-headed monster, the two-headed twin, if you will, of the BLM, which now just kicked off into another chapter because another black person was killed by police, and they're going through the roof with that. And of course the scamdemic, right? So it is a two-headed monster, just like the two-headed eagle that George Floyd had on his chest when he was killed in the month of Gemini, of course, in the Twin Cities. And his twin, who looks identical to him, Steven Jackson, the NBA player, came out, said it's his twin and all that. So tons of Gemini twin symbolism all over. And I highly encourage you, if you haven't seen this already, to go check out my BitChute here. I'm not here to endorse other platforms. I think they're all controlled. But the thing is that we don't have too much of a choice these days. They're just shutting us down everywhere. So if you do have a BitChute account, make sure you sub me. That's New World Agenda. You see I got Jeff Censored underneath there. That's one of my old YouTube channels that, of course, been terminated a long time ago. And there's quite a few videos here on BitChute that are not available anywhere else because, censorship and, the likelihood of censorship. So the twin-demic continues flu shots, urged to avoid twin-demic. Madison.com. See? Problem, reaction, solution, Hegelian dialectic. And we can't have a twin-demic if we have the flu spiking and we have the corona spiking. Then we have a twin-demic, and our nurses who are all doing the TikTok dances and singing and doing these skits and all that might actually have to work instead of being in empty hospitals. I don't know these days. Anyway, so you see the different sort of stories that are coming up pretty much every day. They're going to be pushing this, just like they pushed the infodemic. I wonder what's going on with that, too. You see Minnesota opinion, get the flu vaccine to avoid U.S. twin-demic. Flu shots urged to avoid twin-demic. Gulf Times, get the flu vaccine to avoid twin-demic. Get the flu vaccine to make sure you get sick. Flu season could pose twin-demic 2020. And it just goes on and on and on and on. And I'm just curious about one of their other demics, because you've got the pandemic Infodemic, of course, is one that I've covered a lot. And you see, still every single day, infodemic fact-checking Florida governor claim about kids and COVID-19. Infodemic airline filters don't eat any form of virus. Facebook algorithm is fueling an infodemic. Can't have people questioning anything. So you just see how, and they planned this out a long time ago. If you watch Event 201, they actually talk about the infodemic, and they actually say this because they carried out the whole scenario last October. So it's last October, I think it was the 19th of October 2019, Bill Gates and co. and Bloomberg and the World Health or the World Economic Forum and co. got together and carried out the whole coronavirus scam, and had all these scenarios. And one of the biggest concern that they had by far was the infodemic, and they even went to great lengths to suggest that the infodemic is much worse than the actual pandemic, because people not believing what you scumbags are saying, of course, threatens their plans. So yeah, anyways, I don't know if any of my infodemic videos are still up on Jeff Censored, but if they are, please do go and check them out. So let's move on here. Lockdown worked for the rich, but not for the poor. The untold story of how COVID-19 spreads across Toronto in 7 graphics. So this is the Star. It's the Toronto Star. If you know, it's like a 5-pointed pentagram star, right? And it's one of the worst brands of toilet paper in the world. It might be in the top 5 worst brands of toilet paper. If you wipe your ass with this, you're really gonna get hemorrhoids and God knows what else. But there you go. You see their spooky COVID virus things, and they want to tell you, of course, that it's a class thing. It's your fault too, of course. It's your fault. It's white people's, obviously. Come on, seriously. That minorities are getting a higher rate of infection than the white people that have all the privilege. Your beast media, Disney media. And they want to emphasize this to make you feel even worse, while they take away all your rights and they prevent you from working and they starve you and your families, and they put so many people in awful positions, and then they force you to dance through hoops of fire to get a loaf of bread type of thing. And they're going to force us all to get vaccinated if they get their way. But they want you to buy into this notion that, oh my gosh, it's just another example of how, white people don't get as much Kobe as the minorities are suffering again. And they just endless. So you don't need to, I'm glad it's locked. I mean, why would I need to pay to unlock, some horrible brand of toilet paper? I've got sandpaper downstairs. I could use that. It would be better for my ass than the Star. Anyways. Let's move on here. How about this one? 13 killed in Peru nightclub stampede during police raid to enforce lockdown measures. It's interesting because in my neighborhood, I do see a lot of gatherings, and I'm always like very happy. If I see like somebody having a big gathering, a family, reunion or whatever, I'm happy, even though that's against the law, or against their scamdemic. But here's an example here in Peru where people panic. And so great job, police. You go in there and bust in there, and as a result, 13 people get squashed, I guess, stampeded, right? Which is just awful. But it gives you an idea of the type of, the totalitarianism. I mean, it's not Melbourne yet. It's bad, though, is it not? Right? 13 people died in a stampede at a disco. Why are you still listening to disco? I know what they mean, though. That's probably just dance music, but disco. In Peru, after a police raid to enforce the country's lockdown during the coronavirus pandemic. The stampede happened at the Thomas Disco Lima, where 120 people were gathered at a party on Saturday night, the Interior Ministry said. People tried to escape through the only door of the second-floor disco, trampling one another, and became trapped in the confined spaces. So, I don't know. It's gonna look bad for Peru nightclubs, but do you guys have fire standards and stuff like that? It's pretty bad if there's only one exit and it's not even a fire. Because you imagine, I mean, people are scared. Probably people are scared of the police coming in. It's probably not that they're scared that they're going to be charged with. I don't know. If you're in Peru, I know I have listeners in Peru. Fill me in. They're probably more scared of drug convictions and whatnot than, social distancing violations and whatnot. But maybe they aren't. I don't know. Maybe they've been watching Melbourne and seeing what's going on there and figure it's the Gestapo full on. But yeah, that gives you an idea of just the type of stuff that's going around the world. Brass off, lockdown triggers rise in French brass. I said brass. It's bras. Bras. Lockdown triggers rise in women going braless. I think there should be an age restriction. Oh, come on, women. I gotta have some fun. I don't really mind if a certain demographic of women go braless. I kind of like it, but it does make me worried when I'm driving. But nonetheless, the no bra movement, which just is more of your feminist sort of mind control of the masses here. I don't know. Are they going to show naked women or something? They're just taking their bras. I mean, it's different for all women, isn't it? Some women you're not going to notice, and some women are going to cause accidents. So, I don't know. I mean, bra's not that big of a deal anyways. I figure bra just helps them get a little bit more support, hopefully, for if you got a big pair of knockers. It's not like it's some sort of imprisonment for women, but maybe some women disagree. I don't know. I don't mind freeing the boobs, but we do have to keep in mind that there are impressionable youth around and horny men and whatnot. So don't play with fire. Anyways, we'll move on from that one. What do we got here? You see I'm using an ad blocker. Yeah, because I want to block the 56 ads. That's not as bad as the 133 you get on the Daily Fail, though. So we'll refresh this here to show you this. Water rationing. Yeah, so water rationing. Whoops. Look at this crap. Oh, yeah, I got your X with the DNA symbolism here. Water, look at how you try to scroll down and then it just covers the whole thing here. Water rationing and food shortages if second wave clashes with no deal Brexit. So Bojo, aka Trump for Great Britain, right? Playing his role with his really bad hair. White guys with really bad hair and lots of privilege and misogyny and all that stuff. And here he's saying, well, you know what? We're going to have food rations. What? Whatever happened to freedom? Oh, no, you live in totalitarianism now. We're going to have to ration your food and ration your water. Don't worry, we got the smart meters. We're going to know. And we're going to know because we're going to be spying on you and watching every purchase that you make. And we're going to make sure that you don't take more than your share. Of course, no jab, no pay. No jab, no groceries. No jab, no food, no nothing is the way that these tyrants are going. It is the most evil plot in the history of the world. It's that simple, folks. And we need to collectively, I hate using that term, but we all need to stand up. We all need to draw that line in the sand, say no further, and no way can we let the governments do this to us. There's no way that they can enforce rationing and stuff like that, ban hoarding and whatnot, because they will. It's like a dog licking its balls. If they can, they will. You guarantee it. So your police state here, the government is preparing for power outages, economic chaos, and public unrest if a second wave of coronavirus coincides with a disorderly no-deal Brexit, according to leaked emergency plans. Leaked. A declassified or a classified PowerPoint presentation delivered to ministers warn of food and fuel shortages around Christmas if lorries get stuck at Dover, while 1,500 soldiers are ready on standby ready to hit the streets to help police deal with potential disorder. The document put together by the Cabinet's Office EU Transition Task Force also warns of price hikes, power outages, water rationing, and animal disease tearing through the countryside. It's a really small font here that I'm reading. Military airdrops may need to just make it bigger, Jeff. Military airdrops may be needed to supply food and medicine. The Channel Islands and the Royal Navy could be needed to protect British fishermen from illegal EU boat excursions. According to the leaked plans seen by The Sun, meanwhile, Gibraltar could face harsh economic blow if it's cut off from Spain after Brexit. So, look, I mean, they're going to say, oh, we got shortages, therefore we need soldiers in the streets. We got shortages, so we got to search people's homes and make sure they're not hoarding. We got shortages and we got this. We've got Brexit happening, so we're just going to have to implement a police state and everything else, right? Don't worry, we'll keep you morally safer. All right, where are we next here? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't, guess these guys have been watching their Borat. Two guys from Toronto just started a men's bathing suit company called Brokinis. This is an instant way to get your ass beat. I'd probably be more in favor of that than I would be of seeing people wearing these things. Yeah, it's just, of course, the emasculation of men. It's pushing men to be women. And this goes further and further and further as we move along here. I do have, what do I have here? Oh, yeah, Gucci here. Whoop. I got so many tabs here. Oh, yeah. So my intrepid patrons here sending me stuff showing me how this is all playing out here. This is the Gucci Fall 2020 menswear. Fall 2020 menswear. Mon Petit. Menswear. Menswear. All right. It's men's wear. I'll just show you where my patron here. Where was it here? Yeah, here's some more. Thanks to JS here. Great job showing. This is menswear 2020 Gucci men's fashion show here. Make this bigger. She was nice enough to put them together here for us. Menswear. Menswear. Gucci. Men's. Men. There is no question that evil rules this world. There's no question. And we're just going to have to do everything we can to stand up together against it, folks. We're just going to have to, because they're going to take it all the way. I mean, there's no end to what they're going to do. And you're just going to have to start rallying the troops and sharpening the pitchforks and getting the torches ready, because this is going obviously way too far. It's gone way too far over the past 20 years, period. But there's no end to what they're doing. So getting back here to the, where was it? I'm just going to close these windows to get to it. Yeah. So these jokers here making this men's bikini. Ever wonder what the male version of a bikini? No, not really. Well, it's called a Speedo. That's what it is. Really? It's a Speedo. It's a freaking Speedo. That's all it is. And I freaking can't stand Speedos, period. Right? Speedo. It's such a Russian thing, too. Anyways, I love Russians. Don't get me wrong, but it's funny. Ever wonder? So you ever wonder what a male version of bikini? No, never, not even once. But that's what they are, of course. Well, look no further because two guys from Toronto are here to bring you bikinis for men. Chad Sasko and Taylor Field. Interesting names. Recently launched a new business selling shoulder bathing suits for men, and they're called brokinis. While that might seem like a hilarious joke to some, Sasko and Field are dead serious on their product. I know I sound naive, but is this brokinis for real or is it just for a laugh? It's real in the sense that we just spent $5,000 on it and we're about to have 250 of them sitting in my parents' garage for like the next 5 years. Okay, good. If that's how real it is. Enjoy putting them on, you scumbags. And it's just more emasculation.
Okay, we're going to show you guys how to measure a brokini today. The first thing you want to do is measure from head to neck. You want to measure from head down to the groin area.
Yeah, get closer, man.
Hold it out.
That's great. Yeah, you guys are such men. Such men. Don't stand near me at the beach. That's for sure. And steer really clear. I'd say, yeah, don't come within 50 meters of me. And I won't hurt you. That's all. That's simple. And there you go. I'm in drinking the Bud Light. Looks like his hair is graying. That'll help, with the Bud Light, right? And, it's fine for girls to wear the bikini because, whatever. Some girls would be against it, but there you go. Bikini. We're going to start reaching out to retail stores. Try Gap. Go to Gay and Proud. We're working on photos and videos, and we're going to start some paid ads, and then we're going to move on to retail as well. So, the thing is, like, these blog channels, like the one here in Montreal, there's several here, they're all beast media, and they all push this degeneracy and this role reversal and transgenderism and drag kids and drag lunches and story times and all that crap. So it's just more of their machinations to of course blur the lines and push, just like we showed over here, this stuff here. There's no man that should ever, really, I'm not gonna hurt somebody like this, but seriously, if this is what a man's supposed to look like in 2020, you gotta just stop the ride, okay? I think I'm gonna vomit all over the place. Anyways, hey, YouTube community, no hate speech, right? This isn't hate speech. I don't hate these people. I feel sorry for them. Stop with the hate speech crap, all right? Because that's destruction of freedom of speech. Anyways, let's move on here. Oh, God, it's so gross. Anyways, oh, yeah, I had their website, but I just closed it. You don't need to see any more of that crap, right? Oh, yeah, here we go. Look at this crap here. I guess these are the new products, right? You got a Kobe stick now. Instead of a selfie stick, you got a Kobe stick, right? To get somebody to see a piece of paper. It's so insane. So Sunnybrook Hospitals declares COVID-19 outbreak as Ontario sees 105 new cases. What does that mean? Loch Ness Monster sees Sasquatch, illness. Like, seriously? If we're going to go to the Sunnybrook Hospital, is it going to be, like, completely empty? Is that the case? I'm just curious because that's what we see. But our media always tells us that you got to fear the big bad virus. Check this out. Governor calls for action after video captures Wisconsin police shooting black man several times. So I caught the video earlier here, and it's just more of this. Look, people, I don't know. Can I show it? I guess you don't see any blood, so whatever. It could be blanks. We'll take a look at it together here. You got the potato cam, first of all. And you got the guy walking away, and the police shooting, pointing the gun. Then he opens the door, and this is where they start to shoot him. It's great. You got about 5 pixels here. It really helps, right? This is Beast Media 101 for their shootings. And then they freeze it here. I guess that's all they're... Oh, thanks, Phoebe. Thanks. So, I saw the video anyways. I mean, what are you going to say? There is no such thing as crisis actors. Nothing's ever fake. The beast media never lies to you, never manipulates anything, and this is definitely not part of their operations of their instigated race war, BLM, and all that crap. But of course, now you're going to get that being pushed everywhere. And this was Kenosha, Wisconsin. And the shooting prompted a stark call for action from the State Department. I don't know. Again, maybe it's real, but like maybe if a policeman is pointing a gun at you, maybe you shouldn't try to get away by getting in the car. I don't know. It's just a suggestion, right? I wouldn't take one chance. I wouldn't take one step. If a cop had a gun pointed at me, like seriously, like when I covered the Rayshard Brooks thing, right, where the guy, and again, that could all be script. That could all be, oh, you can't say that. It's YouTube. But you know what I'm saying? Like the guy overpowered two cops who were very polite, very patient. You know, spent 45 minutes trying to get him and you know to relax and just do the whole thing. And the guy was wasted and he fell asleep in a car and all that. So he overpowers the two officers, steals one of their tasers, fires the taser, and even punches one of the cops and fires a taser and is firing the taser as he's running away at a cop, and then the cop shoots him. You know, I would have been shot. Like, I know I've dealt with cops way too many times, unfortunately. Right? I used to get in a lot of fisticuffs and whatnot, right? Back in the day. And I tell you, there's no way I wouldn't expect to get shot. I would be shot 100 times over if I pulled that type of stunt. So what's going on through people's brains? If these are real events, why are you walking away from an officer who's got his gun point blank, you know, pointing at you, and you're trying to get into your car? I guess you're trying to get away. I mean, it's just insanity, of course. But, you know, all white people bad. Remember that. Can you say that, YouTube community? Right? Yeah, of course you can. White people are bad. Well, everybody knows that, right? And then Free Britney movement supports Britney Spears' fight for autonomy. If you waste 1 second of your life on this creature, if you think that this creature, it's all an act, all these people are actors, they're all playing their roles. The fact that, you know, idiots in their room or their apartment are sitting around wondering or joining the Britney Spears movement is just so sad. It's just a sad reflection of mind control. Police shooting a black man in Kenosha, Wisconsin prompts protests. Well, what do you mean prompts them? They've been going nonstop. You're just going to burn, loot, and murder everywhere, right? Because that's what BLM does. So anyways, you see the whole thing. So this guy's Jacob Blake here, for what it's worth. And this is the latest one. Okay, so we'll move on from that. Where were we here? Canadian Brainwashing Corporation. How about this one? So, not the headline, because I caught this video after checking the headline there. And I found this a lot more interesting than what's in the headline. CBC's Catherine Starr, with 2 R's, describes the public reaction to the restrooms. So I want you to take a look at these restrooms here.
Flush away any preconceived notions of public washrooms.
These yes, it's so clever.
Starburst candy-colored shades that pop out in this park.
Starburst candy-colored shades.
Can you just delete your entire existence and apologize to humanity for being a hideous shill of the beast media? Thank you. All right, continue.
Are reimagining what a public restroom experience
Reimagining.
Yes, it's a clear glass box, everyone's nightmare. But once you're inside and you lock the door, then the clear glass turns opaque.
Yeah, there you go. Once you're inside, it's a clear box. And everybody could see inside, but once you're inside, you lock the door, it turns opaque. Oh yeah, that's trustworthy. Yeah, let's just go and take a dump right now. I'm sure. What happens if, it malfunctions. Whoops. Oh, you're wiping your butthole. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. Oh, it's an accident. I mean, the last thing on earth that should ever be transparent is washrooms. But this is all mind control. It's all mental manipulation. Why? Because they want you to embrace the surveillance state. They want you to feel There's no such thing as privacy. It doesn't exist. I don't even know what it is. They don't want you to know what privacy is. They want like in 5 or 10 years, I'm sure one of their objectives is to either completely destroy the term privacy or redefine it as something completely different, like they do with their doublespeak all the time. Because if you can't be private when you're taking a dump, there is absolutely no reason whatsoever for any transparent washrooms to exist, especially out in public, like here, which appears to be some park or something, right? And it's like, oh, wow, this is going to make you feel better when you go to the washroom. You know, it's going to make you feel safer because, you know.
Leaving you in privacy. Designer Shigeru, but once you're inside and you lock the door, then the clear glass turns opaque, leaving you in privacy. Designer Shigeru Ban said his intent was for people to be able to check each stall ahead of time to make sure it was clean and safe.
Oh, that's
Japan
it.
Has been on a recent
Make sure it's clean and safe. Well, you can't do that. You gotta have transparency. Oh my gosh! And look at these turds. Look at this. Look at this guy. He's got his umbrella. He's got his umbrella, guys. He's got his umbrella. He's keeping himself morally safer. He's got the Ebola green shirt on too, and his mask outside because even Miss Star here is not wearing a mask. Maybe she can't fit one over her face. I don't know.
refurbishment kick of its restroom facilities, overhauling over 300 between 2017 and 2019.
I like this guy. This guy's like, I don't know. He's he's looking behind.
Japan Tourism Agency. But these ones, originally timed to debut during the now postponed Olympics, are a notch above. Still,
They're a notch
Tokyo's residents
above.
seem a little hesitant about giving these a fair shot. Many of the people I spoke with voiced concerns that a potential technical glitch could leave them with an unintended audience. But it seems like good old-fashioned human error might be the
And just go in there and don't even lock the door. Just go in there and take a dump. And then if you have no shame, look at the eyeball over here too. Look at this. Do you see anybody not wearing a mask? Are you spotting people who aren't social distancing? Snitches get rewards. That's what they want to give you. Look at that one eye symbolism here. And you can tell these people don't trust these things. You have to be an absolute moron to use one of these. Like, yeah, I'm just going to go in there. Yeah, sure. Yeah, whatever. It's freaking unbelievable. Probably got cameras going up your rectum.
more likely thing to worry about. One man forgot to lock the door when he went in to do his business, leaving that clear glass transparent and the park scandalized. Katie Starr, CBC News.
No, he's coming back. He's coming back. Look at him. He came. What's going on with this guy? There he is. Yeah, great job. Yeah, shell. These people. All right. So did we get rid of that one? Oops. Which one did I just get rid of? I think okay, whatever. I lost a thing. Anyways, we'll move on from that. Oh, Melbourne. Yeah. Orwellville. Yeah, isn't that awesome? Orwellville. You know, it's awesome when you think about it. Where was my... Where? Is here somewhere. Oh, yeah, here. Okay, so thanks to Phoenix Cat. She sent me this here. So I posted this tweet here, as you can see. Hey, Australia, aren't you glad you gave up all your rights and freedom? And here is an image someone put together of the stats in Australia. It makes pretty clear. Okay, so this should explain everything to everyone in Melbourne. This should explain everything to you. Your government took away all your rights to keep you safer. Your government took away all your rights and implemented a police state. Why? Because of 330 alleged Kobe deaths, which are probably mostly shark attacks and hit by a bus. So deaths in Australia from March to July, there were 68,000 because people die, right? People get old, people get sick, cancer, things like that, unfortunately. So 68,000 people died. The government did absolutely nothing about that. No restrictions were, there's aside from what's going on with COVID. Let's just say 68,000 people died, right? In a 2 or 3 months, right? in Australia, and nothing was done. But 330 people died, and they locked down the entire province of Victoria and implemented full-on Orwellian police state 1984. I mean, I'm beside myself. I never seen such evil in my life, honestly, than what's going on right now. I think this is the most evil plot in the history of humanity, without any hesitation. Every single day I'm gobsmacked by how evil these people are. I cannot believe the tyranny that we're witnessing, and my heart goes out to all the good people in Australia that are suffering right now, because I heard even less than this, by the way. I heard like under 300, right? 200 something. But let's just think, maybe that's all of Australia, right? That's all of Australia. Let's say Melbourne is 200 and something, right? Deaths. Montreal they claim like 10,000. 10,000. Now they implemented a mask policy. It's still in effect here, and there's social distancing. There's all that crap, and there's a lot of businesses are still shuttered. But they're not doing what they're doing in Australia. Nowhere near, thankfully. But where were we here? So the stage 4 restrictions, and I've gone through this before, but it behooves another glance over here just to show you. And here are your mastards. This woman here, there's no brain here. There might be a small one up here in this bun, but there's obviously no brain here. And she has figured it out. She's like, I know that COVID is so dangerous, and I love my restrictions, but more than anything, I love to wipe my ass. And if for some reason I couldn't wipe my ass with the pillowy, soft, non-Toronto Star toilet paper, or the non-sort of New York Times toilet paper, if I couldn't do it, I would just be devastated. So this woman has definitely figured it all out, and she's got herself ready. And look at these people. You can't even see this person's eyes. They're so terrified. They're like, I heard it can go in through your eyes. And they got their Pringles. They got their junky food. Looks like she's got her 30. What is this? Your glucose fructose things. You got your cat litter. These people, honestly. So, yeah, stage 4 restrictions. This Nazi here, Daniel Andrews, or Bolshevik, maybe that's what I should, Maoist, this piece of dog poo YouTube community, this tyrant, this guy that needs to be arrested, charged, and whatever, suitable justice can be issued out. I recommend medieval, but anyways, Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews, said that the restrictions have been brought in to get the community transmission cases where the source of the transmission cannot be determined under control. Andrews says the government is modeling showed that without these measures, stage 3 restrictions would need to last 6 months. When can I leave my house? Could you imagine? 2020. I just want you to think about this. 2020. And you have The Guardian providing information. So your question is 2020 questions for 20. When can I leave my house? 2020 questions. Only in the year 2020. When can I leave my house? You are only allowed to leave your house for 4 reasons: shopping for food, essential items, care and caregiving, daily exercise, and work. Employers must support you to work from home if you can work from home. Unlike stage 3, there's now a curfew between 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. So almost half the day you're under lockdown. And you're not allowed to leave your house except for those 4 reasons. Caregiving includes managing shared custody arrangements, babysitting, leaving home to care for animals elsewhere, visiting someone in an aged care home, or visiting somebody in the hospital. Make sure you have your papers. You can leave your house if you are at risk of family violence. Oh, how magnanimous. Or to apply for an intervention order, or to attend court or police station. You can also leave your house to access medical services. This time around, that explicitly includes leaving your house to give blood. Access to medical services is unrestricted. You can access them anywhere in Victoria. Questions for 2020. And there is a stage 5, by the way, which means no freedom, and you can only leave your house once a week. And that's only to leave for half an hour, and you have to have government permission and everything else. But questions for 2020. Melbourne 2020. How far can I travel from home? The year is 2020. In the year 2020, if Melbourne is still alive, right? If Melbourne. I have never seen such tyranny in the West. I know it's not technically the West, but, you know, it is part of the Commonwealth. And I am blown away by how evil the people of Victoria, the government of Victoria is. I have never seen such unbelievable tyranny. I am just shocked. How far can I travel from home? Shopping from home and necessary supplies must be within 5 kilometers. You can only go 5 kilometers. For you Yanks, that's about 3 miles. You can only go to the nearest supermarket. Only one person house. How about this? Only one person per household can leave to go shopping per day. Only one person per household can leave to go shopping per day. Exercise must take place within 5 kilometers of your home. Wait a second. Are you kidding me? Like, that would be a problem for me because that's how, I go a lot further than that often when I'm exercising. It's like, well, you got to go around in the circle. Exercise limited to 1 hour once per day. What are the rules of exercise? Exercise is still permitted. Is still a permitted reason to leave your home. But you will not be allowed to leave the metropolitan Melbourne to exercise, meaning long bushwalks or leaving Melbourne to go fishing or golfing or no longer fishing, golfing, going for long walks, all illegal in Melbourne. Thanks to, where is he? This thing here, this tyrant, be diplomatic, Jeff. This thing. May God have no mercy on your soul. There you go, YouTube community. Oh, man, these people. Oh, this is the worst tyranny I've ever seen. I have never seen anything like this, folks. So you can only travel, you have to go within 5 kilometers. You're only allowed out once per day. You can only one person per household per day is allowed to leave. Exercise is still permitted, but you will not allowed to leave. You can't go fishing. You can't go for long walks. You can't go golfing, cycling, any of these things. You're allowed to drive to a location in order to exercise, but the destination must be within 5 kilometers of your home and must be the closest practicable location. Remember the faces of tyranny. Never, ever forget who these people are. Ever. For the rest of your life. I hope you never do. Time spent in the car driving to and from your location included in the one. How evil is that? So even the time spent driving and in traffic is included in your... Look, it's fucking prison! That's what prison is, folks. An hour out in the yard. I am sorry for swearing. But it is what it is. Swimming pools, playgrounds, and gyms will be shut, and community sport will also stop. You can exercise with one person, including members of your household. What are the rules? It's been mandatory for masks, of course. You have to wear them all the time. Whenever leaving the house, there are few exceptions. People with medical reason are exempt. Children under the age of 12. in schools, teachers will not need to wear a face covering while teaching, but the students attending classes will. Andrews said common sense would guide how the new rules are. How would this person look in a Nazi uniform? I'm just blown away, folks. Can I have visitors to my house? You cannot have. 2020. Questions. Melbourne, Australia. Questions for 2020. Can I have visitors to my house? Can I see my partner? 2020. Planet Earth. Australia, province of Victoria. You cannot have visitors or go to another person's house unless it's for the purpose of giving or receiving care. You cannot leave your house to visit a person if you are in an intimate, or you can leave your house to visit a person if you are in an intimate personal relationship. That is, that there's no bonk ban. Bonk ban. If your partner lives outside Melbourne or 5 kilometers of your home, you can still visit them if you stay at your partner's after 8 p.m. And then they say cleaners, tradespeople, gardeners, painters, and renovators are not allowed to visit your house for work. It's only the most evil plot in the history of humanity, and I am so sorry that we are all living through this. Questions for 2020. Planet Earth, Melbourne. Do I have to stay in Melbourne? The stay-at-home rule apply to your main place of residence, so you will not be able to get out of Melbourne and stay in your holiday house. The government says this is to stop the virus from being spread to other parts of the state. 2020 questions. Can I still dine at a restaurant or cafe? No. Restaurants and cafes will only be able to trade as takeaway and delivery businesses. Will shops be open? Supermarkets, grocery stores, bottle shops, pharmacies, and petrol stations, banks, and local bankers or bakers and butchers will be allowed to trade, but subject to density rules limited by person per square meter. It's getting hot here. I have to put on my air conditioning. I'm sweating buckets, but it's just so evil what's going on. I'm sorry about the rattling. I get so angry when I read this. I mean, how can you just look at what they're doing to people and not freak out? I just don't understand. I don't get it. Anyways, we'll move on from that. COVID-19, Australia, pimples, sex, Big Macs, why people flout Melbourne lockdown rules. Tamara Thiessen here. Never forget who these people are, ever, for the rest of your life. If you see this type of stuff, Melbourne people, you know what to do. I hope you know what to do. I can't say it, but I hope you know what to do. Save the trees. Melbourne, Australia's second biggest city, is now in the 7th week of a strict lockdown. Swept in July 8th. Despite the situation being reined in last week, it was decided that the toughest stage 4 lockdown will continue until September the 13th. For a city of 5 million, that means another month of living with a curfew, mandatory mask, a 5-kilometer travel limit, widespread business shutdowns, and school closures brought to a standstill. Bizarre reasons for breaking the rules. As breaches of stay-at-home mask rules multiply, so do the crazy and stupid excuses. Police say these have ranged from a man leaving home to escape hearing his housemate having sex, So you're not allowed to leave your home if your housemate is having sex and you don't want to listen to it. That's a crazy behavior. To 3 others saying respectively they were not wearing masks because of a bad pimple on my chin. Well, if the mask is causing your skin to have reactions, then that is an extremely valid excuse to not be wearing one. And then others saying, I do not believe in restrictions. Good for you. Do you believe in tyranny? Because you're living in it. Meanwhile, hefty fines are being dished out. 2 YouTubers were billed $5,000 Australian after filming themselves breaking curfew for Macca's Run, driving to McDonald's for takeouts. Another man was fined $1,200 for supposedly driving 300 kilometers for a Big Mac. I mean, at least if you're going to get fined, do it for good food. A severe $26,000 fine was given to a group of partygoers that ordered 20 meals at KFC store. The year is 2020, and people are getting fined $26,000 for ordering 20 meals at KFC. Thanks to this guy. All I hope is that you get the karma you so richly deserve. That's what I pray for. Please, God. Thank you. State Premier Daniel Andrews is baffled by quite amazing examples of people ignoring curbs and the appalling behavior by Arash's View. Yeagles refers to them as minority idiots and conspiracy theorists exaggerating the situation. Even if by anyone's standards it's tough, rated as one of the most stringent lockdowns in the world to enforce it, police and military patrol the streets of Melbourne and conduct door-to-door checking on compliance. In just 24 hours last Friday, they handed out 150 on-the-spot fines to offenders. One was an influencer who posted her Fendi handbag viewing on Instagram. Another traveled to see friends, broke curfew, and were caught at checkpoints. It's hard to keep positive with this stuff going on. It's hard for me sometimes to come in here and try to keep my humor up. It's hard when you see what these people are doing. Staying apart keeps us together. Double speak, of course. Staying apart keeps us together. This is what the New World Order does. Makes the bad seem good. All right, let's move on. Somebody just sent me this, so who wants to be a drag queen when they grow up? And then you got the kids getting the drag queen.
Drag queen when they grow up.
Little Miss Hot.
Who wants to be a drag queen when they grow up?
Little Miss Hot.
Who wants to be a drag queen when they grow up?
Little Miss Hot Mess.
Who is ready?
Little Miss Hot Mess. All I can say is I hope, sincerely pray that you get the most sincere dose of karma that you so richly deserve. And this goes out to everybody in this New World Order that is doing what they're doing to humanity. Anyways, I don't know if that's what I had to show you, but we'll move on from that. Damn, this is getting tough. Man who believed virus was a hoax loses wife to COVID-19. So Loch Ness Monster that believed that the Sasquatch was a hoax had its wife eaten by the Sasquatch. So I help because I'm able to do a translation of British brainwashing, right? Corporation. This is my specialty. So the man who believed the virus was a hoax loses wife to COVID-19. If you translate that into logic speak or Jeff speak, it is Sasquatch or Loch Ness Monster who believed this. I'm getting them confused now. The Sasquatch was a hoax, loses wife to Sasquatch, right? If you believe these stories, you are a moron. That's all I can say. Of course, a Florida taxi driver who believed false claims that the coronavirus was a hoax has lost his wife to COVID-19. Well, whatever, I don't believe it at all. And maybe you should take it easy and stop eating all the potato chips and hot dogs. And then maybe you'll live longer. That's all I'll say. Let's move on. Hong Kong reports first case of reinfection. Let's show you something really spooky so that you buy into our propaganda. Hong Kong scientists are reporting the case of a healthy man in his 30s who became reinfected with coronavirus 4.5 months after his first bout. Of course. And then they're going to tell you this, that even though you overcome it, you're going to get it anyways, and you're going to have to take more and more vaccines. You have to take vaccines every day, 2 times a day, 3 times a day, 4 times a day, all day. Creepy men message women on Scrabble Go app. Zoe Kleinman. Creepy men. Well, seriously. If creepy men are messaging you on Scrabble Go app, there's a few things you can do. 1, you can throw away your phone. 2, you can delete the app. 3, I suppose you could block the person. 4, you could make articles on the British Brainwashing Corporation by Zoe Kleinman pushing that men are creepy and that men that come on to you are horrible people and it's toxic masculinity. I am from the United States of America. London, UK. Oh, that's great. It's a pleasure to meet you here. My name... Oh, that's so creepy. Oh, it's just so creepy. Thank God Zoe Kleinman gave us such great examples of horrible creepiness of men. Match me, MM33, girl swooped. Number of women who play online Scrabble, Loch Ness Monsters, who play the Sasquatch game, on Scopely, I don't even know what that is, app, Scrabble Go, say they are being messaged by creepy men. Well, why not just make articles in the Beast Media about it so that women think that men are just creepy, period. They begin a game and then they start asking questions of where the women live. Whether they are married and whether they want... I mean, what do you think men are gonna do? What do you think? They're trying to find women! It's a fucking lockdown! Keep it together. What do you think they're gonna do? I mean, seriously! Unbelievable! What's the purpose? I mean, that's what men are! Good Lord, what do you think men are... What do you think they're here for? Right? To put on dresses? I mean, birds, bees, flowers, duh. Birds, male birds are seen chirping at female birds in the park. This is intolerable. Male squirrels are showing interest in female squirrels. Right, I mean, it's the most retarded thing ever. Men like women, newsflash. We're all here, all of us, except for the clones, are all here because of heterosexuals. It's just the way the world goes round. So one woman who was in her 60s and lives in London told the BBC News she was contacted by private message. Well, just why are you allowing private... Why just not... If you don't want messages, don't get messages. 2 or 3 people a week. Oh my gosh, shudder to think. All claiming to be men of... You know how many people contact me a week? There's some come-ons too. I don't complain. She did not wish to be named. It's almost like a script. They start with, "How are you doing?" Oh, this poor 60-year-old woman. Then probably, I mean, if it was true, she'd probably love it. But they match you to start a game, then they start messaging. They play very badly, so you win the game, and then they big up you. Regularly, they say, I just want to check. Can't we be friends?" When you say no, some of them disappear. They resign from the game. If you don't reply, most of them resign from the game. So what? I mean, this is a non-story. There's nothing here. It's so retarded. Block functions. I mean, just delete the stupid game. Delete it. Stop playing your mind control. There's the solution. Of course, it's all bullcrap. It's all your beast. It's what it is. Wisconsin police shoot black man. You see, it's a black man, of course. It has to be. It's a black man. As his children, never trust a man in a bow tie. Are you kidding me? If you have a bow tie, I'm never going to listen to you. But anyways, it's CNN, right? Shoot a black man as children watch from a vehicle, attorney says. So CNN, a.k.a. Black Lives Matter propagandist, and what are they going to say? They're going to tell you this scripted story, which is probably a load of bullcrap and probably using blanks and whatnot. Anyways, let's move on from that. Oh, yeah, I was going to put this in. I had it out of order here, but the Australian... Just to throw another log on the Australians' cauldron, as if it needs it. Australia's big four banks removed thousands of ATMs and shut down hundreds of branches as coronavirus crisis pushes nation closer to a cashless society. Jeff C., can you translate that? Yes, the Australian tyranny, the New World Order that runs Australia, is trying to eliminate cash. And by removing hundreds of ATMs, thousands, pardon me, they're making it manifest a lot quicker because these people are evil. It has nothing to do with your scam-demic. Unbelievable. But of course, that's how it's working. Damn, it's just crazy what's going on. There, just for more reference, deaths in Australia, 330. So they destroyed all your rights, took away all your freedoms, locked you all into your prisons, forced you all to comply, destroyed your businesses, your jobs, your lives, gave you all kinds of anxiety, and prevented you from any sort of freedom. And it was for this amount of people, when this amount of people died of other causes during the same time. I have never witnessed such tyranny in my life. Never. Not even close. Not even after 9/11 was there this type of tyranny. It's as evil as it gets. And how evil does it get? Well, a picture's worth 1,000 words. That's how evil it gets. Women arrested in theft of 7-year-old Trump supporters. MAGA house outside Biden convention. Loch Ness monster, arrested after theft of Sasquatch supporters. MAGA hat, all scripted media, divide and conquer, all your garbage. This is not a mask. This is your ticket back to doing what you love. Yeah, wearing a muzzle all frickin' day long. Unbelievable. I gotta try not to swear. Anyways, I don't buy any of this crap. I know how the media works. I know they play both sides equally. And I think it's another scripted pile of bull crap. Massachusetts man gave COVID hugs to cancer survivor, other strangers at Walmart, police say. Loch Ness monster gave Sasquatch hugs to, right? Oompa Loompa survivor. I mean, it's just a big SHIT show. That's what the Beast Media is. And it's all about bringing in their New World Order and destroying all our rights and freedoms. Never have I seen such tyranny, ever. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell says he wishes he had listened earlier to Colin Kaepernick. A new problem arises as students return to classroom doors. Always bullcrap news. As schools reopen with in-person learning, there are scores of questions about what will look like, what that will look like. One particular educators have been anticipating between COVID-19 and the concerns about school shootings is what do we do with classroom doors? Recommend protocols of the coronavirus may be at odds with active shooter policies. It's just prison, that's all it is anyways. It's full prison now. That's what school is. And that's what Australia is. That's what Victoria is. Prison. It's prison. You live in Victoria, you live in prison. Congratulations. I mean, it's not your fault, but in fact, I don't mean to say congratulations. I'm horrified by it. But you should stand up to it. So they're gonna do this. How are we gonna have the doors and if we close the doors and we lock the doors, are we trapping the Kobe in? And if we open the doors and we leave them open, are we letting the shooters in? It's a twin-demic. It's a double-fisted monster. And what are we gonna do? How are we gonna keep everyone safe? There's shooters everywhere. They weigh 98 pounds. They have 100% shooting, targeting. And somehow they can break into highly secure schools and pop off a bunch of headshots, and we're scared, so we got to keep the students safe. And oh my god, that's what you guys want to see, right? I don't know. I would say that the people that do this type of work are. What are you gonna say? What can you say? You can't say anything these days. You know that, right? Can't say anything. It's so insane what's going on. Cashless society, of course. There's your toilet paper here. Who is left behind in a cashless society? Well, obviously, minorities, black people, Asians. Why? LGBT, PQNSWXYZ. Why nearly a third of consumers want cash? No consumers want cashless society. People are retards. It's your beast media that wants it. Cashless does not mean what you think it means. Yeah, it does. It means no cash. It means a frickin' cashless world. That's what it means. Cashless, contactless transactions and tollways required soon. En route driven to provide safe haven for travelers in COVID. It's just so evil. Fact check, cashless society isn't imminent and wouldn't mean the total end of cash. USA Today. It's imminent, it's happening, and it's all around you, and you can't deny it. And it's where it's all going. And are Canadians ready to go cashless after coronavirus? Meredith McLeod. They want to take away all our rights. They want to take away all their freedoms. They want to incarcerate all of us. There's no question. And then we got this. It's coming. It's called the Winter of Great Divide here, and they're pushing this up in Montreal stand here. Here you got brown stain. The brown stain. Anyways, man, it's a bit of a bummer. It's making me a little sad to see what's going on. in this world. I mean, it's sometimes it can be a bit hard doing this show because it's so evil. I mean, I'd be better off not seeing any of this. Maybe, but then it's on your doorstep. Then it's right. It's right there. Right? If you're not hyper aware of what's happening in other parts of this new world order, it's gonna come. It's gonna be here. So we have to do our best, and we have to stand up to what's going on, and we have to try to reach as many people as possible and shout from the rooftops and be the change you want to see. Take a stand. Draw a line in the sand. Do not allow this tyranny to destroy our rights, our civilization, because they will run this to the end and there'll be no turning back. I mean, that's the way that they see it. And God help us if they get their way. Anyways, you guys are really awesome. I want to thank you very much for taking the time to be with me today. I apologize for not going live. It's just getting the show pulled midstream last time, and getting the strike on my channel makes me wary of doing live shows on this platform. I'm obviously going to be a lot more active on BitChute. Not that I would trust BitChute, but I'm just saying, at least people aren't getting taken down. It's not quite the same interface or anything like that, but I think all of us have to do the best that we can to continue to get this word out, get the important information out, and stand up to the tyranny that is happening. People in Australia, you should be revolting massively against what's going on. There's no way that this should be allowed to happen. You have no guarantees you'll ever get your freedoms back the way that they're going. So we'll try our best to stand by you and support you, and but people need to stand up to what's going on, because this is pure tyranny, and it's very evil. So anyways, thank you all so much for taking the time to listen to this. I ask you all, if you can, to sub my BitChute channel if you do have a BitChute account. Also, make sure you sub Supreme Lord Commander, because I'll be doing a lot of videos on that channel. I don't know about live streams. I'm going to check into D Live. I figured right now this is the best, because I want to make sure that my patrons, most of all, don't miss the shows. So if I did a show on D Live and you didn't get to catch it in time, it would disappear after a short period. I'm not sure how long, but it could be a day or two. So I want to make sure that people get to see the work that I do. And yeah, I've had a lot of videos pulled, and you know, it's just how it is. May not be much longer on this platform, you know. I'm knocking on wood, but I don't even know at this point in time. But we all need to stay strong, and we all need to stand up, and you need to take a stand against what's going on. You need to always fight for your rights. Never allow your rights to be taken away, no matter what happens. Those who sacrifice liberty for security deserve neither. And that's in all circumstances, at any point in time, no matter what is going on. You should never give up your rights, ever. Nothing should ever supersede your rights, ever, ever, no matter what. If there's one thing that we can all learn, if you didn't know this already, but if it's one thing that we can all learn, it's that. It's that we can never, ever allow this tyranny to ever take root again. Humanity must wake up now. Thank you all so much for taking the time to be with me today. God bless you all. I will see you guys all on the next one. And if you can, and you want to help out, please do try to come and support me on Patreon. The link's in the description. You guys are the best. God bless you all. See you on the next one.